Hey, talking to Scott from Fallujah. Thanks so much for joining me, man.
Yo, of course, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, last album was 2019, so 3 years now. A lot's happened to the world in 3 years. What's happened to you guys in 3 years?
Yeah, it really changed a lot of things. We had a whole setup going on where we were touring constantly, working on albums, you know what I mean? Kind of in this hamster wheel, and then kind of all at once everything got canceled, and we had to go home and kind of figure out a new way of life. And I think it was hard and difficult, and there was some changes that the band went through, but I think it was a positive thing overall. We came out stronger, and I'm really happy with the album we put together because it's came out really good, and we you know what I mean, we pulled out all the stops on it, and we took our time with it. We made sure everything was perfect, that the album was balanced, and I don't know, the momentum was perfect. And I haven't really done that with many other albums. I haven't been able to like sit with an album and really just make sure it is exactly how we want it, every single second of it, and it came out exactly how we wanted it. I'm glad. So yeah, it was long and hard, but it worked out.
Tell us about the new guys. How did it come about that they came to join the band? Where did you find them? Did you already know them? And what did they bring to the table?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, a couple months into the pandemic, you know what I mean? It looked like we were not going to be touring for a while. It looked like, nobody knew what was going to go on for a while. So, I think Robert, the bassist, up until 2020, wanted to, try out new things in life and go back to school. And, he was pretty honest with me, like, okay, I think I'm going to go try some other stuff. I don't think I could be a part of this next album. And I was like, all right. So we started looking for a new bass player. And honestly, my first choice was Evan Brewer. I mean, I've been a huge fan of that guy since I was very young, and I've always, followed every project he's done and listened to the music he makes, and eventually got to meet him touring when we both played Summer Slaughter. He was playing in the Faceless, and I think we did like US, and then it was just with Canada with them or whatever. So we got to know each other, and we kept in touch for a while, and then when the opportunity came to hit up bass players, I hit him up and sent him the music, and the music really drawed him in. He said he wanted to be a part of it. He said he found like he felt like he could have a place within the music. There was enough space where he could do his own thing with it and bring his own style to the table. And I think at first it wasn't we couldn't make it happen or whatever, and we thought that the opportunity passed because I think he had something going on in his life that was kind of holding up everything. But I actually had a few more months to work on guitars and all sorts of other little details like that. So I gave it a little bit of time, and then I hit him back, and I was like, "Yo, what you doing right now?" And he's like, "Oh, I thought that was long gone. We missed the opportunity to do that." I'm like, "No, you still got the chance." And then he's like, "Sick, because I've been listening to the music. I really love it. I want to be a part of this." And there was like a lot of enthusiasm. So we spent like maybe a couple months of him writing and showing us demos, and that was so much fun for me to hear him try his ideas out on my music and just like change the way it sounded and make it better. And I've been, you know anytime we would try to work on bass for the band in the last records, it was a lot of time we were trying to emulate his style. So it was like kind of like a dream come true from the band. We were already trying to emulate what he does, and then he's the expert is doing it, the pro is doing it. It's so cool, it's so much fun, and I don't know, it was a good time. And then I think he took about a week or so to actually record it. He rehearsed all the material and then recorded it all in about a week, which is pretty sick. It was pretty awesome
Mm.
for me. See, he's like, "All right, you guys are down with all these demos. All right, I'm going to do it." And he just recorded it, which is interesting for me. I've always recorded the bass for the band, so at first I was like, "All right," but it came out great. So yeah, the guy kills it. He brought a lot to the table, and even helped with like just collaborating on structures and stuff, and listening to the songs and the vocals, and a lot of feedback. And what was really nice is he lives pretty close to where Mark Lewis lives, who was he recorded the album, he produced the album probably a couple blocks away. So during the entire recording process, Evan was able to hang out and be there and work on stuff with us and collaborate. So that was cool. But yeah, he killed it, absolutely killed it. It's one of my favorite elements of the album is the bass. But Kyle, so yeah, Kyle, we found him probably as the music was like as I was completing the songs, essentially, at least like the songs and all the riffs and like the structures of all of them. And we were auditioning tons of people. and like probably 10 or 15 people, something like that. And, everybody, I was sending out an old song basically, and like, yo, can you do it in this kind of style? Send it back to me. And his stood out, and he got it back to me quick too, which was pretty awesome. Some people it takes them a week, 2 weeks, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, if you really want to do this, you probably would send it back
Yeah.
pretty quick. Or if like if it's natural, you're naturally good at it, you would think it'd be quick. I mean, he sent it back quick. It sounded really good. And then I sent him uh, uh, one of the new songs to let him just try, his own style. I didn't give him any phrasing or anything, no guidance. And just what he sent back was just so good. And it was just like he was just so intuitive for how to fit within the space of the music, but also bring a lot of like energy. That's like the thing I find difficult with vocals is sometimes they can kind of like slow down the music. The music is like moving really fast. There's like all these motifs, but like the vocals can, if they're like doing quarter notes or something really slow, they can kind of make the music feel lethargic. So they have to like, I feel like it takes a lot of talent to like figure out like little accents to make it still feel like it's got a lot of energy. And he's just really good at that. But I probably should go back and just say that I met him through him asking me to do a guest solo for his band, Archaeologist. And that must have been a couple of years before I asked him to audition. And I've always liked his vocals, his writing style. And so, he was one of the people I thought of because it's just like he really melodically gets music. And he's been a writer for I don't even know how long, but he's got at least 21 EPs or something like that. So he's got a lot of experience with writing music. And when he jumped on board, it was just like it was awesome to see him collaborate and bring some of these songs to life that I've been sitting with for like a year and a half, and they're starting to get stale to me. I'm like trying to think about what's going to be better about them, and both Kyle and Evan, they just like really help bring that enthusiasm and make it all energetic. It was pretty cool.
September 9th, out on Nuclear Blast, we've got the new album coming out. What's in store for us then?
Oh man, so many riffs, so many solos. Absolutely, probably at least 2 million kick drum hits. I don't know, but for real,
it's a punishing album, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't mean, to me, it's definitely the most intense album we ever made. It was like we've written 4 albums before this, and I think before the pandemic started, we already knew that we wanted to make an album with some more with goals that we had when we were younger. You know what I mean? We were more obsessed with like tech death when we were like 17 or 18 when we put out our first record. Like Necrophagist, Deeds of Flesh, Spawn of Possession, Decrepit Birth, The Faceless, all these bands that were kind of coming up and we were emulating. And it's really like complex, almost like it's almost like a different kind of jazz. But we wanted to kind of like have that type of intensity with this record, but with like the maturity of us after 10 years of touring and still taking the what's true to the style of the band and really making something that's like iconic for the band and like a new base level for us to move forward. And just, I mean, we would just tell each other every step of the way, whatever, if it was recording drums or working out riffs or tones or vocals, it's just like, is this good? Because it has to be the best. It has to be the best one we've ever done. We have to put everything into it, and especially when we got the time to do it. So, I mean, that was just kind of our whole attitude with it. So expect a monster record. It's like 55 minutes of just crazy riffs, like crazy prog parts. I mean, that's what you should expect.
If nothing else, the pandemic gave us time.
Yeah, truly.
Time to fucking sit and think, do nothing, dream up stuff. And
truly, yeah.
It did give musicians, it took away their livelihood, if you like, but it gave them more time to sit back and come up with something really special. And there's been some really special stuff created. Now, there's a number of slow, almost jazzy, to use your word, passages on there which sort of stood out and grabbed me. Tell us about them.
Sure, man. I mean, I've always absolutely loved fusion guitar. Some of my favorite guitar players are Greg Howe, Scott Henderson, Alan Holdsworth. You know what I mean? These guys with like, it's like fusion, but it's like really funky and spacey and dark. And they, Alan Holdsworth, man, some of the tones he got are just so cool sounding and so dark. So I'm always trying to like figure out ways to do that. So like one of my favorite sections of the whole record is on Duality of Intent. There's like a mid section where like it's basically the drum tones change, and it's like playing with the bass. And there's like this like delay kind of trippy effect going on, and we have all these like guitar lines that are kind of like using the whammy bar really gratuitously and like, just kind of changing keys from major to minor. I really love that style. I love just the way it sounds so alien, but like kind of atmospheric and ethereal. And also it's nice to have it like contrast from the really intense shreddy solos because those are cool and all, but I like, I like both. I really like it laid back and kind of like with the last record, that was kind of like the main message of the last record is laid back. So it's like cool to be able to try to combine more of a balance with this record and have like these super intense solos. I think in that song, Duality of Intent, it's like that slow proggy section. It does another section and then does another solo after that and goes into some crazy. So you get like both best of both worlds in that. Let's see what's another section in that one. Oh, I think just Celestial Resonance. It just I love the
Yes.
way that one came out. It's so thematic and I think the band has always been influenced by like sci-fi movies like Blade Runner and let's see, Dune now is like the new thing, you know what I mean? Obsessed with the imagery and just like the way that came out. It's so sick. But things like Interstellar and stuff, and it was cool to be able to put something that's always fun to do the instrumentals because you can do so much with it. You can just kind of be creative and make cool soundscapes. And this one came out pretty cool.
I have to agree. That one did catch my eye as I was listening to it before, as I was walking around the house. I'm thinking, oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I love
Nice
the
one.
ending. Evan Brewer just went off at the ending. Like the ending wasn't supposed to sound the way it did, and then he just tried some stuff out, and I was like, yeah, that's the stuff. We're keeping that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out cool.
Now, are you touring as a four-piece?
No, we're touring as a 5 piece.
Okay.
I think it's
Who are
just because we
you?
write as a 4 piece. It's just like what we do, but we always have another member. I think it just sounds better, and I don't
Hmm.
want to really like all the guitar harmonies are like the guitar rarely plays the same thing, or there's not like a lead while the guitar has to do something. So we got to have somebody there. So we
Yeah.
are playing as a 5 piece, and we're playing with Sam Meridian. Yeah,
You've
yeah,
only
yeah,
got two hands, man.
yeah, yeah. There's nothing you can do. I don't want too much computer stuff going on. It's not my thing.
Yeah. Okay. So, where are you touring? When does it start? And you must be pretty pumped
Oh
after all
yeah,
this
I mean,
time.
dude, so excited. I just excited to get this album out. It's been such a long time coming, and we just put so much work into it. So to finally be able to show people, it's like really awesome. But it's also got me anxious. I want to give it its best performance. So I'm just rehearsing like crazy, just making sure it's as tight as possible, putting a lot of work into it. But yeah, the album comes out September 9th, and then the first show with Psychroptic. It's a co-headliner with Psychroptic,
Mm,
U.S. and Canada. The first show is going to be at the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood, September
nice.
11th. So 2 days after the album comes out, which is nice for me because that's pretty close to where I live. So we're going to start near where we live. It's going to go all the way to the East Coast through Canada, all that, and then it's going to come back to California, and that's where it's going to end. And yeah, it's a
Mm,
co-headliner with Psychroptic. Love that band. I've loved that band since I was like 15 or 16 or something like that. Symbols of Failure, one of the sickest albums. And then Interloper, which is actually close friends from the same area, like amazing musicians. And then Cognitive, my bad. They'll be on the tour. Yeah, so it's a really killer tour. Insane musicians. Going to be a lot of insane guitar playing for sure.
when was the last time you went on a stage?
So actually, I think we broke our like hiatus from touring when we did that Rivers of Nile tour starting about April, May, which was really cool. The first single of the album came out April 27th. We were able to announce the new members, and I think a few days later we left for that tour. We played that song plus a couple new ones that were unreleased on the tour, and yeah, it was just so much. It's such a good time seeing, people and seeing old friends that I haven't seen in years, and then also just seeing crowds of people that are just super enthusiastic to be at shows. You could tell everybody was super excited to be finally back at shows and having fun. And I don't know, all the bands on the bill too were, they all had this just energy of like gratitude and happy to be there, and everybody was real friendly, and everybody was playing really well too. Everybody's putting on really great shows, and it was just a good thing to be. It was an awesome thing to be a part of. It was a party
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. What else did you want to touch on, man? You've given us a good talk about the new guys and the album and upcoming tour. Is there anything else you wanted to chat about?
Sure. I mean, a big thing that kind of happened during the pandemic, we stopped touring, and so we all kind of scrambled to like figure out like what are we gonna do. We kind of
Mm,
been like used to touring and making money that way, and also doing like lessons and kind of like combining it with other stuff, but it kind of threw everything for a loop. So we all kind of got into, figuring out like how can we like connect with people, and we'll do it through the internet one way or another, whether it's through making YouTube videos or Instagram, and eventually we all kind of got onto this Twitch thing. And for the last 2 years, we've been performing on Twitch in different ways. I've been showing my community all sorts of different things, from recording the album to me practicing songs to just performing songs. You know what I mean? It was cool to have played my first show in April, the first tour or whatever, and not really feel like I was cold or I had to redo anything, because I'd been playing the entire time during the 2 years. And another cool thing is you're relearning your entire discography. You're kind of like reconnecting with your old music, and you're getting a feel for everything, and especially doing it while you're interacting with people and seeing what they want to hear and what excites them, and doing that while writing and recording the music. It was just super helpful. I just felt really immersed in the music and connected to everybody. And we're not just learning the band's music, we're learning other metal bands' music, and just, I don't know, it was just really helpful. And I think it really helped me up my chops for sure, and up the other band's chops. And I think, gave us a lot of exposure, and we came back a lot stronger. And now we have this whole other element to, to the music, which is really cool. It's like this inner circle of people that are really interested in the band. And then that's what made us want to start a Patreon. So just recently we started a Patreon, and
Okay.
just kind of soft doing that. But that's, I think that's about as much as we would talk about. Other than that, just get the album.
I know guitarists like to talk about their guitars. What are you playing these days?
Oh, dude, awesome question. Not a lot of people have been asking me about my guitars right now, but do you want me to grab it? Do you want me to see it?
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Hold on a second. I'll grab a good one. Sorry, man, if you got guitar, I didn't mean to do it. But yeah, this is my signature guitar, actually, right here.
Ooh, nice.
Let me get this in focus. I actually did all the solos of the record on this guitar. So I actually made a custom pickup with Kiesel guitars, and this is called the Empyrean pickup.
Right.
So there's Kiesel guitars. It's the same company that did Carvin guitars, same company that Alan Holdsworth was a part of, that Greg Howe is a part of. In fact, I got Greg Howe's signature right here. It's super sick. That one.
Nice.
And you can see I kind of take influence from his style a little bit. It's kind of similar. But yeah, you got this crazy funky wood. It's like a disease wood. It's called Buckeye Burrow. You got maple fretboard, got the mahogany, and then it's a neck through 7-piece neck. But yeah, there you go. This came out probably 4 or 5 months ago. I've been with this company probably 7 years now. They're amazing. It's a couple hours from where I live. They're in San Diego, like north of San Diego. They've been there probably 40 years or something like that, like many generations. It's good stuff.
And that looks incredible, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it sounds really good too. Got some sick pickups. Always do mahogany with a maple top. It's the go-to forever.
You seen those fucking crazy YouTube videos where a guy makes a guitar out of all different things? He made a concrete one.
What? No, I haven't seen that. I'm gonna look that up right now so I don't forget.
Next time, yeah, on YouTube, concrete guitar. How does it play? I think it's called. And
it's gotta sound like shit.
It didn't sound too bad, actually.
Oh, really?
Which was
gotta hurt your back at least while you're playing it.
Well, can't weigh any more than a Les Paul.
Actually.
It can't weigh any more than a Les Paul, surely.
Oh, true. I actually have one of those a long time ago. I got it used, and yeah, that's the main thing I remember about it. It was so fucking heavy. It was like, yeah. And I had it when I was young.
I don't know how they do it. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. One thing I always get everyone to do for me, if you wouldn't mind, give us the horns right up in the camera.
Yeah.
That's right, because it's important to be heavy metal about it.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm all about it. Dude, all about the horns.
Scott, Fallujah, thanks so much for having a chat to us. Good luck with the new album coming out September 9.
That's correct.
And good luck with the tour happening straight after that. Be good to see you back on the stage again. And anytime you're ready, you know where we are.
Hell yeah, can't wait to be back in Australia.
Hey,
As soon
thanks,
as I
man.
can. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good day. Take care.
You too, man.